Hey everybody, and welcome back to Emerald Coast. We are in day 8 of midsummer. This is the last day of midsummer, and we are down here on field 16, planting soybeans. We have been able to get the rest of our soybeans planted on all the other fields. We're able to get this field cultivated up and everything, and finally we're able to get out here and put some beans in the ground here on our new field. We've had 2 fairly large storms come through here in the last couple days, and it's put a fair bit of water down. I'm quite happy that the field here was able to dry out somewhat. The moisture's still up a fair bit as it was compared to the last time we were together. I think last time we were together we showed that the ground had a moisture of around 9%. About as dry as you're going to get probably down here. But today I think we are upwards to the mid-50s, 50%. So the ground is a bit damp. But thankfully we're not rutting up the field. Let's go ahead and check out our moisture here. Yeah, we are at 56% ground moisture. So it's probably right on the verge of being where we would rut up the field if we weren't careful. But that's why we've got our New Holland here. There are big old wide dual wheels on the back, and we've gone ahead and taken up as much air as we can from our wheels to maximize our contact patch. As you can see, those wheels are quite the squishy, and just trying to do as little damage as we can, but also acknowledge that time has come and we need to get this seed in the ground if we are going to have any chance of having a decent soybean harvest come late fall. So doing is we're gonna have to come back around here on the back side of the field and do a pass to catch these edges here. I don't want to seed into the grass too terrible much. Waste our soybean seed. But if we look at our PDA and we change our overlay, you'll see now that we've got soybeans in field 9, 18, 19, and 22. And we're working down here on field 16. We still have our poplar up there on field 3, and I suspect we'll be up there tomorrow working on our poplar. It's been ready to go for quite a while, but we had more pressing matters here with our corn and then our soybeans. Our sugarcane appears to be coming in quite well. It's obviously not ready, and it shouldn't be ready until next year sometime. It's going to take a while for that crop to fully mature, but we should probably be able to get a good maybe 2 harvests out of our poplar field before the sugarcane comes due. We're just going to have to see how that all works out. But I think what late summer is going to give us is our poplar. We're going to be chopping our poplar up, chipping it up, and then I think we're going to basically be back in the grass, be back in the hay business. We'll have to see. May hold off and do our last cut of hay in early autumn. Try to just do 2 cuts. Remember, we did a cut in late spring, and I was thinking about doing a cut in late summer and then doing a cut in late autumn, possibly. But our soybeans are probably guaranteed not to be ready until late autumn. Corn may be ready by mid-autumn, You know, I don't know, but I know it's definitely not going to be ready by. It should definitely not be ready to harvest by early autumn. So, thinking it may be best to spread that hay work out until early autumn. Get a good growth on the grass, and just get a good second. Just get good 2 cuts out of the grass, as opposed to trying to ink out a third total cut. Cows are doing good. Sheep and pigs are holding steady. Well, the pigs are climbing. They're going to be climbing for a while now. I tell you, I am having a problem with the chickens. Those darn chickens, I keep forgetting about them. And I do keep killing off some chicks. Just today, on the transition to midnight, I got a message that 12 chickens had died. And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, I guess I did forget to top off the chickens when I was topping off the rest of the animals with their food. So, well, you know, things happen, and I guess we just had to take some chickens in to get processed and cleaned up. But yeah, I need to try to do a little better job on remembering to check the chickens with respect to food and water. You don't realize, I guess, how dependent you are on glance until you're not using glance. And well, we're going to have to kind of get used to not having glance once 19 comes out. It'll be a while before mods like glance and, well, GPS even find their way, you know, into our mod folders. Although GPS was fairly quick, I think, to come out. I started playing 19 or 17 in November, and I'm pretty sure GPS wasn't too far into my gameplay before it emerged. And I had heard people using it and seen people using it. So hopefully some of these script mods will be a fairly quick transition into 19. I guess it depends on how much they change around the scripting and the calls. Thought we would work our field in a north-south direction, as opposed to what I would normally do, just an east-west direction. I think it's working out pretty good. Of course, we're coming up to the long part of the field here. I wasn't sure how long it would take for us to plant this field. Wasn't sure how much seed it was going to take. So we went ahead, and you can see a pallet of seed there on the back of our pickup. Took the racks off the back so that we could get the tote loaded easily there in the truck. And he's here just in case we run out of seed, and just in case it so happened that our seed dealer is closed for the evening. But, you know, since he's here now, we're not going to have to make a run down to the seed dealer to fill up our seeder. That would waste precious time. It is 2:30. I think we could probably finish this field before the end of the workday. But you never know, I guess. So it's always best to be prepared when you don't have resources that are open 24/7. Now, the last thing you want to do is have this thing run out of seed and then realize that it's after 5 p.m. and your seed dealer is closed. And as a result of them being closed, you have now lost your chance to get some soybeans in the ground. You know, so Best to be prepared. Look out over the land there. We can see field 16, obviously where we're working. Field 17 is directly in front of us. We don't own that field. The two patches of ground past that are 18 and 19. We put soybeans in those, so the beans haven't come up yet. And we've got a another field of gosh, what is that? Let's see. I guess that's barley. Got a field of barley up there that needs to come in. Man, if that guy doesn't bring his barley in, he's gonna lose it. Maybe he put it in real late. It's not quite ready. Then past that, we had another field. So, with Emerald Coast here being so flat and fairly open farmland, you can really see quite a ways across. See all the fields, see all the different colorations and the crops on those fields once the crops come up. See, we've got a fair bit of fields between the main arable farm and here on the PDA that are currently bare. Yes, they are in a transition state. Don't know if the farmers are going to get soybeans in those or not, but they're all cultivated. So while we are listed as doing light compaction here on this field, we're not actually doing any real crop loss compaction damage because of the fact that this field needs plowing. So this field still has the need plow state, and until we get rid of that, the compaction mod really doesn't do too much with respect to yield, I don't think. So need plowing is basically the equivalent of fully compacted soil. So we just did not have time to plow up fields, what was it, 10, 12, and 16. There was just no way we were going to have time to do that between getting the harvest off and getting the corn in with respect to field 10 and getting the beans in field 12 and 16 here. So we're going to wait until after we bring in our corn and soybeans, and then we'll probably plow those fields up over winter. We'll have plenty of time to do that work. Take our time and get her done right, because it will be hopefully the last time we ever have to plow, because the beauty of the compaction mod, even though it's still a work in progress, and if you don't know where to get it, all I can do is tell you to go check out the Realmus GitHub, and you'll find it there. But the real beauty of the compaction mod is plow the field once just to get rid of that need plow state. And if you're careful, you tend to your fields, you pay attention to the ground moisture and the contact patch and the weight and the type of equipment you're running over your fields, you could get by playing several game years, running several harvests, and never have to plow your fields again. So that's clearly the goal here on Emerald Coast, is to go 10 years and not plow a single moment more than what we have to, which is basically the first time around. And the way we achieve that is to manage the compaction levels of the ground as we are farming. And as I alluded to at the start, if you're new to the compaction mod, then this will be new information. If you're not new, then it will be a little bit of a repeat, maybe a little bit of a refresher. But basically, as I demonstrated at the start, the ground moisture is very, very important to the compaction mod. The more moisture in the ground, then the softer the ground is going to be, and the more of an effect the driving on it with your equipment is going to have. So if we get out here and we look, we can see that the seeder is causing no compaction, okay, because it's up, it's not on the ground, and the tractor is causing light compaction. Okay, now let's get here and lower our seeder down so it's making contact with the ground. And now you can see the seeder is still causing no compaction, so it's not putting enough pressure on the ground to do any sort of damage to the ground, and therefore reducing potential yield. A tractor, on the other hand, is pretty big. It's pretty heavy, and even with the duals on the back, even with the tire pressures let out, we are causing a light compaction. So we're not showing it. Well, you can see over there fields 3, 4. The grass field is pink on the PDA. So pink is showing a light compacted state. In theory, there's a minimal amount of crop yield that is lost as a result of a light compaction. But you'll also notice on field 2, 18 and 19, you'll have to look real close, but you'll see that the edges of field 2, the north and south edges of field 2, have a little bit of pink fringe to them, whereas the bulk of the field is not colored. And the same on 18 and 19. You'll see that the right side of 18 and the right side of 19 has a little bit of a pink fringe to it. And that is because we were turning around on cultivated soil with our tractor, making our up and down passes, and the cultivator was removing the compaction that the tractor was causing, but the cultivator cannot decompact cultivated soil. So we had done our headlands first and then did our up and down passes, and as a result of doing that, we were driving over cultivated soil and compacting it, and then when we dropped our cultivator, it was still in a light compacted state. But since the ground was fairly dry when we did that work, the act of just dragging the cultivator behind the tractor cleared most of the compaction off the field. Then, again, since the ground was fairly dry when we planted fields 2, 9, 18, and 19, the act of seeding the field or planting the field with corn did not cause additional compaction. So we're going to get really good yields out of 2, 9, 18, and 19 come autumn, because for the most part those fields are well, field 2 definitely is at 3 stages fertilization right now, so there's no reason to drive on that field until harvest. So we're going to have, that's the state the field's going to be in until harvest, which is pretty cool. Now fields 9, 18, and 19, we do need to put we do need to come in and spray fertilizer on there once the beans pop up out of the ground. So depending on the moisture state of the ground at the moment, we might do a little bit of compaction to those fields, but we're going to use the big boom sprayer, or our big boom sprayer, and as a result we're going to do as little compaction as possible, because we're only going to need to drive on a very small percentage of the field, because our sprayer boom is going to extend so far out to the left and the right of the tractor. I think I'm going to stop here and refill our seeder. I got a little narrow access way here, so we're just going to back up. Fill our seeder up. Then we're going to finish out the rest of this field. Go. Really like this seeder because check the animation on the step and the lid there when we close it. It's pretty cool. We'll go over here and work our way in. See how that works. Catch this edge. Then we'll pick up our GPS markers and just start filling in the field from this side. So yeah, thinking about it, I think we're going to do, I think we're going to have our poplar chopping episode this Friday. We'll be in late summer at that point. And then we'll probably not come back together until early autumn. Simply because I don't think I'm going to do any of the grass work over late summer, because the corn's not going to be ready until mid-autumn, I suspect. The beans are definitely not going to be ready until late autumn. So there's no real reason to do our grass early than to just wait, let us get another growth out of it, and just bring in a really big grass harvest in early autumn. Let's look at our weather forecast. We got rain the first day of autumn. Clear skies days 2 and 3, so that looks pretty good. Let's looking at late summer. We got 2 days of rain out of 4. So it's starting to get a little wet after we had such a fairly dry early summer, but I guess we're maybe moving into the storm season. Have to see how that works out. Temperatures aren't too terrible bad. 91 today, 82 tomorrow, nice cool day, 82. 90, 93, 92. Now 93 and rainy. That is going to be uncomfortable. That's going to be nasty, hot and sticky humidity. Those few days are going to be pretty bad. So it's going to be really encouraging to not do much of anything on those days unless you got to get out there and do it. Simply due to how hot it's going to be. So guys, I think that's what we're going to do. We're just basically going to tend to our animals over late summer. Try not to kill off any more chickens. And you know, tend to our sheep, tend to our cows and our pigs. And probably spray our crops here. Spray our soybeans when they pop up out of the ground. That's probably going to be our late summer work after we bring in the poplar harvest. I tell you, I am really excited to do the poplar harvest just to see how many chips we get out of that poplar field up there on field 3. and show you guys in autumn how the poplar comes back up on its own. So there's a script on this map and on lots of CCS 101 maps that does poplar regrowth. So you chop the poplar and it darn thing just comes right back up like grass. And then you harvest it again at some point and it'll just regrow and just constantly regrow. So field 3 is going to be a poplar field for the next 8 game years. And we're going to get hopefully 8 harvests of poplar off of that field and make us a nice little pot of cash. Selling those chips in wintertime because, well, that's just what we do. And we only had to make the investment once to seed those. So it is the gift that keeps on giving. Unlike the sugarcane, which is a gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving, but then it gives up and doesn't give anymore. Because you only get 3 harvests out of sugarcane, and then you got to reseed or replant. And I suspect after we harvest field 4 for the 3rd time, we are not going to want to harvest sugarcane anymore, and we're going to put something else in there. Probably sunflowers, I would say. Something I want to get into next year is some sunflowers. Didn't do any of that this year. Just have to see how that all works out. So guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do Let's Play videos here on Emerald Coast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This coming Friday, we're going to be doing the poplar harvest, which will be interesting, to say the least. So until next time, guys, happy farming.